Eating right, exercising, knowing your DNA, seeing your doctor on a regular basis. We've all been told that these things can prevent a heart attack, but not always. Just ask my newfound friend and fellow heart attack survivor, John Harrity of Centerville, Virginia.
All right, let's do this. Stay spread, go one. We're going to introduce something new. Set it up.
On the surface, John Harrity appears to be pretty laid back, but he's a competitive guy too.
Let's go spread.
Like this night, coaching kids basketball.
You don't have it, don't pick it up, dribble it back, right? You got down there and then you picked it up. Bring it back, run a new play.
He also pushes himself hard. Like the night he was playing a pickup game on a court similar to this one, along with his buddies back in May of 2016.
I'm typically the guy on the court that's in the best shape. I'm not the guy that stops the game.
But after defending a basket, everything just changed.
And I started getting some shortness of breath. Felt very warm, and I told my friends I've got to go outside and get some cold air.
So we kind of did this little slow walk around the court.
Rocky Burnson was playing ball that night with John.
But now he's starting to get a little wobbly. And
then I started feeling some chest pains, and I told him to call 911, and that's the last thing I remember.
As John lay unconscious under the lights, not breathing, Rocky called for help.
911, police car.
While another friend, James Bennon, followed directions from the call taker on how to perform CPR.
Put the 911 operator on speakerphone. James was like, hey, what should I do? And she just said, hey, try to find this center part of the chest and one hand on top of the other, and she kind of called out the cadence. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Do you have that running fear that you might do too much?
Yeah, absolutely. And you said that's going to go away over time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's in the back of my mind all the time.
John didn't wake up for 3 long weeks. He had the most deadly heart attack you can ever have. It was the same one that I had more than 20 years ago. It's called the Widowmaker. It triggered a blockage to the main artery, which supplies the largest amount of blood flow to the heart. Any history of cardiovascular disease?
Zero history of cardiovascular disease.
Not father, not mother, not grandparents, not great-grandparents? No one.
No one.
You must have said to yourself, why me?
Oh, absolutely said that. I mean, I was doing, from my view and from what they tell us, I was doing everything we were supposed to do. I mean, for many decades, I've worked out 7 days a week. I've followed a very strict diet. At the time of my heart attack, my body fat was under 11%. I literally felt I was in the best shape of my life.
But it's that great physical shape, and doctors too, that saved John, not only from the heart attack, but the complications that followed. Because blood thinners caused bleeding into his lungs, and he suffered multiple organ failure. Today, John says he's almost 100% physically, mentally. Well, that's a different story, but it's normal.
So unfortunately, yeah, it's always in the back of my mind, right? So I come down here and I work out at 5 a.m. and I think to myself, okay, watch for warning signs. And I used to go and run the circle at 5 a.m. There's no one around, and if I had a heart attack out there, I'm done.
Right.
And so I'm way more cautious today.
I can assure you that fear, and that's what it is, that will subside in time.
Okay.
That's time. You know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You took such a major hit. It doesn't get any more serious than what you've been through, but time will cure that.
You're up. You have play.
And never far from John or his wife Eileen's conscience is the day their kids had to find out.
My daughter knew, she knew it was bad. And she instantly said, do you have a heart attack? And I said, he did. My son, it was a little harder. He didn't want to talk about it at all.
You must have thought a number of times you had lost him.
The worry is still there. I mean, the worry is always going to be there.
I was doing everything that we're told to do to prevent heart disease. And if it can happen to me, I truly believe it can happen to anyone. But the lesson learned is get yourself in great shape. I mean, that's going to increase your odds of surviving this.
How are you different as a result of it?
Oh, I'm way different today.
How so?
The people at work say that Like, that they don't think there's anything that could ever upset me, because things aren't a big deal anymore. And
not sweating the small stuff.
No, not in any way.
Other ways that John say he's changed, he's cut back on his exercise, just 6 days a week instead of 7. He could probably reduce that to 5. And remember his friends Rocky and James who revived him using CPR? That's a lesson for all of us. Learn CPR. John is a perfect example that it can save a life. On Tuesday, February 27th, you can learn CPR at a free Heart Love Health Fair that we're holding, those of us here at WUSA 9. In addition to CPR, we're going to be offering EKGs, glucose, and cholesterol testing, and so much more. We're partnering with the Prince George's County Health Department for the testing, but you need to register for them. You have to register first. There will be 2 sessions, one that runs from 7 in the morning until 11 in the morning. I'm going to be at that one. Come out and say hi. Andrea Roan, along with sports anchor Darren Haynes, will be there for the second session. That's from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 6. The health screenings will take place at the Kentland Community Center. That's on Pine Brook Avenue in Landover, Maryland. Again, the testing, it's all free next week, Tuesday, February 27th, but you got to register, and you can do it by going to our website, WUSA9.com/heartlove. That's heartlove, one word. Back in a minute.